Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We go 5 days a week. We go 10 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Hope everyone's having a great day, safe day. Let's make it a great week, folks. We're kicking into April 1st. Pretty amazing. This quote is by an unknown. Expect the best. Believe something good is going to happen, and it usually does. It's all a head game, folks. Market-wise, let's take a look at it out here. We had the Dow Industrials up 263, Nasdaq up 56, S&P's up 23, gold contract down $15.60, trading at $1,185 an ounce. Silver down 36 cents at $16.70 an ounce. Oil off 29 cents at $48.58 a barrel. Bonds, we had the 10-year down one tick. 128.20, 30-year off 25 ticks at 163.20, and King Dollar up by 825 ticks, trading out at 98.35. The Euro down 74 at 108, and the Yen up a full penny at 120.15. Our phone number is 877-927-6648. Give us a call, folks. Want to know what's going on in your world? Let's go to the world of the markets. What are we going to look at? Well, you know what? I'm going to start off with the Dow Industrials today. Why the Dow? So inside the markets out here, folks, today, Dow had the juice. The Dow is up 1.4%, 1.5, 1.49 to be exact. The S&Ps were up 1.2, and the Nasdaq was up 1.1. If you take a look at the volume characteristic, we did 619 million out here versus 742. If we look at the diamonds, the DIA, what you're going to see inside the diamonds is this. Diamonds today went up 5 million shares versus a downtown on 8.4. That was created out there on the 25th. Now, that being said, it did have the wide price spread. Volume went up a bit. So where does that leave it? That leaves it, folks, I suspect, that the diamonds and the Dow wants to basically try to get up to the 18,000 again. The diamonds want to get into 180.84. Inside the Dow Industrials out here today, this is what you had, putting the strength into it. You had Boeing was up 385, United Health was up 229, Apple was up 312, and you had Chevron up 262. Now, what's so intriguing, however, is this. Many of the Dow stocks were up, and they were up $2, $3, and of course you're talking about stocks that are $100, $150, and you got to remember something. The Dow, that's how it's weighted. It's a price-weighted structure, okay? Bottom line, that being said and done, guess what? Intel can't get out of its way. Intel was down 54 cents. Microsoft can't get out of its way. That was flat. American Express can't get out of its way, and Visa can't get out of its way. Those are going to be problematic, folks. This is a dead cat bounce. I do expect you're going to see the Dow, though, trying to run into the 18,000 level. NDX 100. Let's take a look at the QQQ. If we take a look at the NDX 100, where the strength inside the NDX 100 today was Catamaran. Catamaran's getting taken over by United Health, folks. That was up 1151. That was the leader inside of the NDX 100. Now, even with that, bottom line, the NDX 100 still didn't have big strength. The NDX 100, the Qs had come down from 108 to 105 on the 25th. We had come downtown with 41 million shares, and what we're doing today is that we went uptown with 29 million. Bottom line, can it crawl its way up to like 107.93? Yeah, it can. It can get up another point. Inside that NDX 100, you had Catamaran was the big one. ADI, second, it was good charge. That was it's up 9% at 5.97 at 64.81. Express Script was up $3 at 85, and you had Staples was up 58 cents at $16.70. We take a look at the. Let's go to the. We'll go to gold next. We'll take a look at gold. What do we have with gold? Gold, folks. Bottom line, pull back with lighter volume, and what I expect you're going to see is this. Gold contract right now is 1185. This baby can get back into about 1177. 1177 to 1175 is where the strength came in on the 20th, on the 18th. I expect that's what you're going to get. If you take a look at the GLD and see that correlation, you pull back with dramatically lighter volume. It's actually pretty amazing that these gold and silver equities held up today. The GLD came back with 4.3 million shares. That 4.3 million was coming into 8.3 million and 12 million. So bottom line, right now you're trading out at 113.75, and yes, you can get into 112.87. Silver market, look at the SLV, same type of setup inside the silver market. Silver market has actually been stronger than gold. The silver market had broken through the consolidation it was in from February 17th over to the 24th. You pull back today, you're pulling back with 6 million shares versus going uptown with 14 million. This is a nice setup. These setups here, folks, in the metals market, A to B equals C to D, they want to run to the highs that were generated out there on the 21st of January. Bonds. We take a look at the bond market. We use the TLT in bonds. This is going to be a big toss-up, folks, because what we have with the bond market is this. Now, it's going to release a lot of information this week, and this is what it is. We came off the highs in bonds, and when we came off those highs, you came down pretty hard on the 6th of February. Gap down, came down hard. On the 6th of March, that's when you took a B point out of an ABC structure down. You took it out with volume. Okay, so what ends up happening? Jumps on the other side of it, says, see, I don't want to be here. I don't want to go any lower. Then what you had is that you did have a sign of strength, big sign of strength, on the 18th. That's when the Fed took out patience of its statement. Right where we are right now is going to basically, the information it will release is that, is the bond market over or not? And here's the bull and bear of it. We got to a price point of 131.55. You did volume of 13 million. You backed down with volume of 9 million. So thus far, it's saying that, guess what? It wants to go to the high. How we attack this swing high out here from just last week is going to tell us quite a bit, because what it's going to do is this. That swing high is coming right into the gap where we had gap down from. If you get so the bullish one would go like this. The bullish one was that you build costs here for a few more days, you start going into that 131.46 and an expansion with volume. You get that going, this market's not over. That would be saying we're going to go to the highs. Okay, now bearish one. Bearish one would be you build costs for a few more days. You try to get into the 132.78. You fail. You fail, and if you fail and you don't close under the 132.78, you close under the 131.98. Where I'm going with that is the gap where it had originally gapped down from. You close underneath that. What does that set up? That sets up that your probability is higher that the bond market has turned after 28 years, because that's been a 28-year bull market, by the way, folks. Because picture this. This is what's really amazing. This is what it can't get any more bullish, because we went from 14% interest rates down to 0. That's what it did. So you can't go, well, you can go negative. Europe's going negative. You say you can go negative. I guess you can go negative. But the bottom line, that is the 28-year span. So what does it mean? If the Fed comes up, says short-term rates are up, guess what? That would be the beginning of an expansion of interest rates, even if they're slow. Bottom line, that'll take apart the bond market. Dollar index. Okay, now this is where it's going to get really interesting, and this is what it is. Who knows why the dollar wants to go down? But bottom line is that the dollar had done a 1 to 2 ABC structure on the way up. Those types of expansion, as soon as you get over a 1 to 1.618 expansion or contraction, by the way, you had an immediate change of trend. We got that. The dollar came off the high with a vengeance at 100.78. On March 18th, you get into 98.78 with juice. You bounce today with lighter volume. I suspect what you have here, this is building cause to get into this 95.60 to 94.42 area. The dollar itself is going to release a huge amount of information as to, is in fact going to try for the highs, get up there with light volume, or in fact fall apart and go south. This week we have, we're closed Friday. You get window dressing happening with last 2 days of the month, following 2 days of the new month. What I expect, if we go back to those S&Ps for a second, what I do expect you're going to see the S&Ps trying to crawl a little bit higher. You're going to see the volume drop off as we do it. And when I say drop off, What should specifically happen is that we did 84 million shares today. Tomorrow you'll see lighter than that. The next day you'll see lighter than that. And then that's all she wrote, folks. This is Tom O'Brien. This is TFNN. You stay right there. We're going to be coming right back. We had the Dow Industrials finish up 263. NASDAQ up 56. S&P's up 26. We're going to be right back.